we went on another outing to Ben, or actually it says Mrs. Baker's Still House. What it is, it's a microbrewery where they do whiskies and gins,
Vodka.
and vodka, all the good stuff.
Liqueurs. We got what did we get? We got the coffee liqueur.
Yep.
No, that's not the. Yeah, that's a coffee liqueur, and we got limoncello. That's a gin. That's a pepperberry gin.
It certainly is.
Where's my strawberry one? Triple sec.
No, they ran out of strawberry. You missed out.
Okay, triple sec, which is
Lemon.
he said.
Orange, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He said it was nicer than Cointreau. What did you think?
It's a toss-up. It's got all the orange flavour. Very nice though. Okay. It is very nice.
I love
can't question
strawberry.
it.
I'm so. Does that mean the other two got?
They got the last strawberry.
Well, it was their idea to go there. And the pepperberry gin, which you really liked.
I did.
And the fennel gin, which I'm going to use for medicinal purposes, because apparently it's really good to settle your stomach if you've got an upset stomach.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Shut up. And I love these cordials, and I'm going to make myself one because I'm not drinking. It's too early for me. It's never too early for you, though.
I know.
Do you want to try one?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, dear.
Yeah, okay. They've got orange, lemon, and lime cordial, and it's really old school cordial. It's really yum. So, do you want to make yourself a drink? You can if you like.
Do I want to make myself a drink?
Okay. More of an instruction than an invitation.
Actually, I am going to try the Loud and Rebellious Fennel Gin.
Didn't you try that yesterday?
Yes, I did,
okay.
and I thought it was a little bit special. Now, the guy that runs the show down there, his name is Ben. Ben. I was going. Yeah. I was going to say something else.
Oh, okay.
Ben Baker, and apparently there's a whole story behind all these bakers. There's a lot of them.
It's a family-run concern. He was so hospitable, and we learnt so much about making gin, making whiskey, all the processes behind it.
Very technical, but if you're into that, well worth watching.
And well worth a trip.
Yeah.
It's called Glen Patrick, but it was something else when we looked it up.
Was it Glen Harry by any chance?
No, it wasn't Glen Harry. That's an in joke. You can ignore him. If you look up Mrs. Baker's Stillhouse, they've got a website, and I'm going to put a link to it in the description for this video. But well worth the visit. Very hospitable, very generous with the tasting, and we bought more than we intended to, but it was such a good product, and he's so passionate about what he does, and they use a whole bunch of botanicals and homegrown lemons and oranges and limes. They source all the best products, like the juniper that goes in the gin. I ate a juniper berry, which I've never done before, and it was like crunching on a gin and tonic.
Yes.
It was the weirdest thing. It's like you were chewing a gin and tonic. So it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Did you?
I did indeed. It was a great day. And you know, that comment about we bought more we intended to or should have. I mean, you know, research and development.
Absolutely.
And now it's, you know, quality control.
And you know where to come for a good drink now if you want a good G&T. Or... So, yeah, he's very, very knowledgeable. And it was really, I didn't know anything about anything. Anything about anything, that's a silly thing to say. I didn't know anything about how distilling worked and all that. And he broke it down so that even I could understand it.
Wow. That's got some tonic in that.
Oh, really? Did you put some tonic in it as well?
I did indeed.
Oh, that is so yummy.
Wow. I'm going to have to do some more testing just to make sure that the quality's okay. Can never be too careful.
Yeah, well, that's true. So if you really like your gins, or you're interested in someone who's starting out with whiskies, he's got a whiskey club, he's got a gin club, he's got a wine club. They make Pinots. No, not Pinots, Shirazes.
Yes.
Yes, they make Shirazes there.
And he also makes a white a Shiraz rosé.
I really like that. I thought that was really good. I really like that. And I'm fussy when it comes to things like that. So that was.
Oh, not you, darling.
I'm giving him the look. All you ladies out there know what I mean. So yeah, if you want to go and really talk to someone who's passionate and who knows what they're talking about.
I mean, seriously knows what they're talking about.
And he shows you the processes, so you really know what happens into, you know, making his products, the things that go on there.
Didn't he? Isn't he a chemist or something? Oh no, that's the young girl that was there. She's a
microbiologist.
A microbiologist.
Yeah, but no, Ben has a computer background.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, he told us that.
Yeah.
So, but this is what he does now. He grows grapes, he grows botanicals, and he makes fabulous products. So, they also sell honey, and they do jams and chutneys and things. So,
well worth a visit.
Yeah, it's a little bit out there, but if you're going to make a weekend of being in the Pyrenees, because that's where it is.
And lots of wineries there as well, if you're interested.
Heaps. And if you want to know where to go for certain types of wines and things, he'll be able to point you in the right direction. Once you've tasted his, though, you'll be set. And plan to spend a little while, because he does like a chat. All right? Very friendly person. But
while he's chatting, you know, you're testing the goods.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that was his idea the whole way through. So, thank you, Ben, for your hospitality. We really appreciate it. And give Mrs. Baker's Stillhouse a crack, because it's well worth it.
If you have a mixture of alcohol and water in there, because alcohol has a much lower boiling point than water, water boils at around 100 degrees, a bit less at this altitude, as it happens, depending on the weather. Now, the simple model they teach you in high school is, well, if you get your alcohol and your water and you boil them up, the alcohol will boil off first and then the water. And it's not actually that simple. What boils off is preferentially alcohol, but it does still have water in it. And it depends on the composition in the kettle that you started with. What we're doing here, each of these chambers is effectively another still, heated by the vapor which is rising up. So that if we were just to distill it once, starting where we started, about 7.2%, I think we calculated this wash was, mashing malt grains with water and then fermenting it.
And that's how you got the alcohol?
That's how we got the alcohol. Okay. And it's coming out at, as you see, 90-something% alcohol. So that's a quick mashing and brewing lesson. Stays in there for a week or so until basically all the sugar is gone.
And then it stops bubbling.
And it stops bubbling, so you can tell, and you open it up and check how much sugar is left in it, and there's no sugar left in it, so you tip it into the still. When did we switch on? At 10 o'clock this morning. And we've really only just started production. Complication in the column is about effectively doing multiple distillations on the way over, and we control it by controlling the amount of heat we put into the bottom and the amount of cooling. You see.
How did you get into distilling? What made you decide to start this?
The trigger really, it started out as a winery, and we are still a winery. The grapes are over the other side of the saddle on the gentle north-facing slopes of a very sheltered valley, and they normally would be taking an awful lot of our attention at this time of year, but the crop is already so mouldy because of the really humid weather we've been having, and we decided to abandon our crop of fruit for this year. Now we only have Shiraz planted, so to get back and actually answer your question, we do a lot of inventive stuff with Shiraz. We have a regular table Shiraz and a sparkling Shiraz and a white Shiraz, which is a dry rosé. And I wanted to add a fortified Shiraz, like a port style drink, which we can't call port because we're not in Portugal and we don't use Dourado grapes. And I thought, well, if you're going to make a fortified wine, you need some fortifying spirit. And the logical place to get fortifying spirit is get a still and make some out of some of your own wine. So you get your license to manufacture excisable goods alcohol, and so you can legally own and operate the still, and you make your fortified Shiraz and stick it away in a barrel. And then you've got this still sitting on the bench and an international gin boom going on. And you think, well, I wonder if gin's easy to make. But compared to wine, it's got this really simple, fast learning time, right? Because you can start with the still in the morning, fill it up with some spirit and some botanicals, distill it, and a couple of hours later, you've got your gin. And you can test it with various different tonics and see if you like it. And if you don't, you can throw it back in the still and start again. Or if you do, because you've written down the recipe very carefully, you can make what modifications you want to make and go again. If you're a seasoned and experienced winemaker rather than a runaway computer scientist, you're good at it. But again, I only started making wine in about 2014 or 15, and so what I make is average, competently made wine with our personal sort of twist to it. We like really easy, simple, approachable wines. Making gin, as I was saying, you can learn to make that really quickly, and it's because it's an energetic and bubbling field. You know, there's lots of new distilleries setting up, and there's lots of distillers, and there's lots of discussion going on between the distillers, and come across to our place and come across here and how do you do this, and how do you, don't you do this? You just throw all the botanicals in the kettle. Oh, okay, yeah, we could do that.
Have a good one. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe.
Thanks.